I'm Kayan, a 53-year-old individual proud to own my own garage. What sets it apart is the fact that I built it from the ground up. My journey began at 16 when I started working under my uncle. After 8 years of diligent saving, I took the leap and established my own garage. The initial years were challenging, but I persevered. Through hard work and dedication, my garage evolved over the years into what it is today. Amidst this journey, I also found love. Harper captured my heart when we met at an auto show. Despite the distance between our cities, we connected instantly, exchanged numbers, and decided to meet. Several months later, we reunited, and our connection deepened. Our relationship reached a special milestone when she visited my place for the first time. Harper was incredible, and the bond we shared intensified. Unfortunately, a few months later, Harper faced a difficult time as she lost her parents and her university fees were at risk. Recognizing that she was the one for me, I stepped in to support her by using my savings to ensure her education continued. Harper was deeply moved, and in that emotional moment, she expressed her gratitude through tears and a heartfelt hug. 5 years had passed. During this time, Harper had moved in with me and secured a position as a lawyer at a local law firm. On a beautiful Sunday, after a 4-hour hiking adventure, we stood atop a hill with a breathtaking view of the entire city. Unexpectedly, Harper dropped to one knee and proposed. Surprised, I said yes. She presented me with a ring, declaring that from that moment on, I was hers forever. We tied the knot 5 weeks later in a modest ceremony. Over the following years, our life was fulfilling, marked by the arrival of 2 children, Caroline, now 20, and Dylan, 21, both of whom have embarked on their own journeys. Caroline went on to university and Dylan got a good job at the local polyethylene film factory. Our house emptied, and I found contentment. Despite lacking higher education and being perceived as rough around the edges, I had never let it bother me. However, at this juncture, Harper underwent a transformation. After more than 20 years of marriage, I knew every facet of her thoughts, behaviors, and even her deceptions. A recent job change, about a year ago, brought more money and a touch of glamour. Her new boss, a renowned lawyer known for high-profile court cases, was someone I never liked. Though I never anticipated crossing paths with him. After observing Harper for 3 months, I finally confronted her about her late-night working hours. I am typically a gentle soul, but today was different. Harper had never witnessed this side of me before. After about 30 minutes of intense questioning, she finally broke down and confessed to sleeping with her new boss. I had one straightforward question. Why? Why are you still the same person I married over 20 years ago, unchanged and unimproved? You wear shabby clothes, exude a rough appearance, and are socially unpresentable. I want more. A partner who can stand beside me as an equal. You always agree never act as a husband and fail to take charge as an alpha male. I stared at her and asked, "So, you want to end our 20-year loyalty because I don't fit into your social circles? Just because I don't dominate and abuse? I've put our 2 kids through college, ensured you became a lawyer, and now suddenly I'm not good enough." She attempted to play tough, insisting I accept the situation and let her be with her new lover. If I resisted, she threatened to divorce me, promising to strip away everything I had worked for. Legal battles would consume the rest of my life, and she vowed to take away my most prized possession, the garage I had built over the years. I leaned back in my chair, processing the ultimatum before me. "Do you really think you can initiate an illegal process and take everything away?" She nodded confidently. I burst into laughter and said, "Best of luck." She attempted to speak, but I didn't let her get a word in. I got up and left the house. The next morning, I encountered Harper and casually walked out for work. Once I had departed, Harper promptly called her lover. "Hello, Elliot. Something's wrong, sweetie. You look upset. Harper confessed, Kayan knows about us. He confronted me this morning. Elliot reassured her, it's not the end of the world. We discussed this possibility, remember? Harper acknowledged, I know we did, but when it actually happened, it's done. After all, Kayan and I have been together for 25 years, married for 20, and we have 2 kids. Curious, Elliot asked, what did you tell him? Harper replied, pretty much what we agreed on. I didn't bother denying it. You know, I'm a terrible liar. I stuck to the script you suggested, told him the truth, that you're a successful career woman, a lawyer no less, who has been married to a mere mechanic for most of her adult life. I explained that, for once, you wanted to be with an alpha male, someone equal to you, a man who can take charge, not one who bows to your wishes every step of the way. Elliot nodded, yeah, pretty much. But don't belittle him too much. He does have his own business now. His trade did indeed provide for the kids, enabling me to put them through college and pursue my own education. However, during our conversation, when he reminded me of the years of both emotional and financial support he had given, the idea of deserving someone like you seemed a bit hollow. You know what I mean. Did you inform him that if he didn't accept the status quo, the firm would fully support you in a divorce, leaving him penniless? Elliot asked. Yes, I did, I responded. The only issue is, he didn't seem to care one bit about all that. He just kept saying he couldn't believe I was throwing him away. After all his loyalty, I have to admit, Elliot, it hurt. I tried to explain that I wasn't discarding him. I just felt I deserved a little more. But I don't think he really understood that. I don't want to lose him, Elliot, I confessed. Elliot responded, a little more, Jen. I'm insulted. You told me you loved my assertiveness, that it took you to new places. His old hobby hadn't done that for you in years. Did you? Or did you not say you never experienced anything like it? Yes, Elliot, I did say that. I admitted. But I also explained that I wasn't that experienced when I married Kayan, and he was always so gentle. You're different, dominating and demanding. It just swept me away. And it will continue to sweep you away, lover. Your husband will just have to accept that you now have an extra dimension. With me, he's lost his top dog status. I'm the alpha male around here, and he'll just have to accept it, Elliot asserted. Nevertheless, I'd hate to believe that I've played a role in ending your 25-year marriage. Here's what I'll do. I'll draft some documents and pay him a visit this afternoon. Please provide me with the address of his workshop. What kind of documents, you inquire? Anything I can think of. The usual tactics we use on unsuspecting orders. Restraining orders to keep him away from you, me, or your home, legal papers freezing his company bank accounts. That's just the beginning. I'll overwhelm him with papers he's not qualified to comprehend or just bluffs. Your husband is about to be informed, in no uncertain terms, who the alpha is around here. Trust me, by the time I'm done with him, he'll be begging you for whatever scraps he can get. I don't know, you respond hesitantly. You didn't see his face this morning when the alpha male paid a visit to my garage around 2 p.m. Mr. Williams, can I come in? He asked. My name is. I know who you are, interrupted your husband. Good. That saves some time, the man continued. I mentioned this morning that the arrangement between Harper and me will continue. What she perhaps didn't tell you is why you'll allow it. If I could just place my briefcase here, thank you. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I am the owner of the company Harper works for. That means I have over 20 lawyers at my disposal, and I can assure you that each one was chosen for their exceptional record in cases. Over half of them specialize in divorce law, and I won't hesitate to unleash all of them against you. This bundle is what I prepared to file this morning, and I'll go through them briefly. This is a divorce petition. As you can see, your wife has already signed it. Here's an order freezing your company accounts until the business can be sold under a settlement agreement. Another order gives you 24 hours to vacate your marital home. These 4 are restraining orders, keeping you at least 200 meters away from me, Harper, our home, and our place of business. Can you see where this is headed? Kayan, my friend, I'll have you entangled in legal proceedings so complex. You won't be able to budge. You'll eventually surrender when you don't have a penny left to hire the world's worst lawyer. And guess what? Throughout this ordeal, I'll still be your wife. Yes, I acknowledge you're bigger and stronger than me, but you need to realize that Neanderthals don't rule the world anymore. Brains triumphed over brawn years ago. Listen, it doesn't have to be this way, Mr. Williams, not at all. Let's maintain the status quo, shall we? I'll keep her when I want, and you get her when she wants, just like it's been for the last 5 months. Why stir up trouble? I might get tired of her one day, and then she'll be all yours again. All right, I've said my piece. Let's face it, if you were all she needed, we wouldn't be in this situation. My advice is to accept it, take it on the chin, and view it as an opportunity for self-improvement. One piece of advice, buddy, stand up to your wife a little more. I won her over not by being the most charming guy, but by being the alpha male and dictating how things would end up, just as I've done with you. Are you done talking, windbag? It's apparent that, much like a significant portion of society today, you're unfamiliar with the concept of an alpha male. Would you like a simple mechanic to enlighten you? Go on, enlighten me, cuck. Explain what it means. Well, they do say a picture paints 1,000 words, I remarked. With that, I took a half step forward and delivered a right fist to the lawyer's face. A satisfying crunch echoed as gristle and teeth were dislodged. John slumped to the workshop floor, leaning against the wall, an expression of absolute amazement on the undamaged part of his face. Consider that illustration, number 1, before the painfully set in. I lifted John to his feet, only to drop him again with an uppercut to the diaphragm. This time, John lay on his side, gasping for breath. Illustration number 2. Just as Elliot's search was yielding dividends, my steel-capped right boot stomped on the lawyer's outstretched hand, breaking the wrist and several bones within. A subsequent boot to the chest shattered 3 ribs. Illustrations 3 and 4. Mr. Alpha, it would really help if you stopped squealing. I'm trying to teach you something here, by the way. With a sense of irony, I added, thanks for making me break my promise to myself from high school, to never use my size and strength offensively. I was going to spare you from the consequences of Jean's actions until you barged in here, rubbing my nose in it. Even gentlemen have their breaking points. I rested my foot on John's throat until I had the lawyer's full attention again. Now, back to your education. The term alpha male comes from wolf packs. He's the lone wolf, the one who dictates to all the others what to do. He might not be the smartest or the largest, but what sets him apart is his sheer ruthlessness, the meanest of them all, one who will kill without a second's hesitation. Out here in the big world, you son may be the alpha in the confined space of your air-conditioned office, but in the vast reality, you're just another insignificant figure. And don't go boasting about being smart. You didn't even bring a witness. You're careless. Now let's explore the potential outcomes here. Option 1 is that you report this to the police. Perhaps they arrest me, perhaps they don't. Maybe they grant me bail, maybe they don't. Perhaps they pin it on me, perhaps they can't. There are a lot of maybes in there, Elliot. In the worst case scenario for me, I end up with a 5-year apprenticeship in prison. 5 years of learning how to inflict harm, how to kill, and how to dispose of the body so that it's never found. And when I complete my apprenticeship, we'll have another conversation, much like this one, windbag. You can chalk this up to experience, use it as one of your lessons on what can happen when you interfere with another man's wife. Now I have some cleaning to do. Thanks to you bleeding, and Jesus Christ soiling herself on my clean workshop floor. Alpha, my foot. Later that evening, Harper called Elliot. Elliot, I'm waiting at the office. I thought you'd be back ages ago. Where are you? I've just been admitted to a hospital ward after spending 3 hours in casualty. My God, what happened? Were you in an accident? No, I underestimated your husband. I foolishly went to see him alone, and he broke my nose, my left hand, some ribs, and possibly my cheekbone. I can't believe it. He's never been violent as far as I know. Believe me, it's true. I'll show you the x-rays if you'd like. My God. I can't believe it, my Kayan. Is there any way I can dissuade you from going to the police? We kind of brought this on ourselves, despite what he's done. Kayan doesn't deserve to end up in prison over this. The police have already been here. I told them I was knocked down by a hit-and-run driver. Your gentle husband told me that, as bad as I am now, this is only a down payment on what I can expect if I press charges. I can't risk getting hurt again, so I've decided to keep my mouth well and truly shut. That might sound a bit boy, but I'm just doing what I need to do to survive, Jen. Now I've got to go. They've filled me full of pain meds, and they're starting to kick in. The next day, at Elliot's hospital bedside, Jen pleaded, Elliot, you have to help me. I drove around until after 8 last night. I didn't know if it would be safe to go home. I tried ringing Kayan to ask, but he never picked up. When I finally arrived home, all the locks were changed, and I couldn't get in. I ended up staying at my sister's house. I checked this morning, and all our bank accounts are empty, and none of our credit cards work. You have to help me. Can you get one of the divorce attorneys at work to start the process of getting Kayan removed from the house? Can I come stay with you until then? No to what? All of it, he replied. If I use company assets and resources to help you, he will have cause to come after me again. In fact, I'm going to play it safe. You're fired, Jen. I'll pay you an extra 4 weeks in severance. If you pack up and leave today, can you tell Kayan that I fired you? If you see him, please don't. You hear me? Kayan has cleaned me out without money, a job, or your help. I'm screwed from the start. I'm sorry, Jen. You didn't see your husband's face as he beat me up. I'm doing what I have to do. Yesterday, you were bragging that you're an alpha male. Today, you're quivering and worried that my husband, who is 10 times the man you are, is hiding under your bed. How I could ever think I'd be trading up if I ended up with you is beyond me, and you're delusional to think I was ever serious about a cheater like you. Harper sat alone in her silent car on the side of the road, her credit cards declined and pockets empty. It was just a matter of time before she ran out of fuel. I hadn't considered cancelling her phone service. Was it an oversight or a calculated act of cruelty? She was driving towards the city where her 2 children now lived, seeking refuge after all these years. They had never let more than an hour pass without responding to her messages. Harper started calling them just after 10 a.m. that morning. She checked her messages again, 0. Harper sighed, grabbed her useless handbag, and stepped out of the car, straightening her skirt. She moved to the side of the road and extended her thumb. Approaching in a beaten-up van, I smiled to myself as I saw the lone woman on the roadside. I wouldn't have described myself as an alpha male. Even so, I was wise enough to know that loners can never truly be labeled that way. Apex predators hunt alone. I stopped the van near her. She looked shocked, contemplating whether to run or stay frozen. I climbed down and asked her to get in. We need to have a conversation, she got in. I instructed her to prepare the divorce papers. No alimony, no share in my assets. Everything I own stays with me. Everything you own stays with you. All the jewelry I bought for you will be returned. You can cite any reason for divorce. I don't care, as long as you're out of my life. After the divorce is finalized, you will leave town and never look back. You can talk to my kids and meet them in my absence if they want to. Your belongings will be packed and ready for pickup by 11 o'clock am tomorrow morning. If not picked up by 12 o'clock am, they will be disposed of. Do I make myself clear? She nodded. I inquired about the papers, and she mentioned it would take a week. I stated that they should be on my desk within the next 5 days. She nodded. I glanced at her again. She looked like she had seen a ghost. I smiled, asked her to get out, and drove off. The next morning by 11:30 am, she had picked up her belongings. 5 days later, she delivered the papers, citing irreconcilable differences as the cause. I laughed. A few months later, I was a free man. I deeply regret that my marriage fell apart. I regret that Harper failed to comprehend the significance of loyalty. I regret that she believed I couldn't evolve into a more presentable husband by changing my clothes. She didn't grasp the potential danger in allowing a 6'5" guy to attempt dominance in bed. While I would have endeavored to salvage my marriage through communication, she opted to resort to threats. That moment marks a point of no return for me. I will continue my life independently, acknowledging that perhaps I may end up living and dying alone, as every apex predator does, until our paths cross again. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment. It is important to me. I wish you all good health, and may this day bring you wonderful moments.